In today's episode of What's Happening MoCo, we learn about the Greater Washington Community Foundation, an organization that's responsible for over $1.7 billion of investment in communities around the DMV. We find out how they connect your giving with people in need.
What?
Good day, and welcome to What's Happening MoCo, an authentic, unscripted podcast from your Montgomery County government. Now, here's your host, Derek Kenny.
Good day, and welcome to What's Happening MoCo. Today, I'm joined by no one other than the Anna Hargrave. She's the Executive Director for the Montgomery County's branch of the Community Foundation. Good day, Anna. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. How are you?
Good. Now, is it okay if I call you Anna?
Absolutely.
All right. I know that you are the Executive Director for the Montgomery County branch of a major organization. But I feel like, we've talked a little bit. Maybe we're kind of friends now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you, I, and all the dozens of subscribers to the podcast. So we're all friends now. We're going to learn a whole lot about what I want to consider a kind of an innovative way of giving to charities and supporting communities. Unlike I've ever heard before. It's kind of different. But before we do that, something that's the same as what everyone's thinking about this time of year, or a lot of people are thinking about this time of year, it's the holidays. How are your holidays shaping up?
So far, so good. My little one has a birthday. So between her birthday, my birthday, the holidays, it's a very busy month.
Oh, wow. A lot of festivities.
A lot.
What is your experience like right now trying to think of gifts to give, and where are you looking? And I want best tips. I need tips on how to do it. I'm a last second shopper.
Kids today seem to want very cute, squishable things.
Wow, okay.
I seem to see these all around, or video games.
Okay.
That seems to be the norm.
All right. Okay. I thought you were going to say K-pop Demon Slayer or something.
Oh, always.
Yeah, okay.
Always.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out there shopping in and around Montgomery County, Maryland. And actually, I have a special treat for those of you that want to spend time with your families in and around Montgomery County, Maryland. We have the What's Happening MoCo top 4 festive holiday happenings around Montgomery County, Maryland. So we'll have that at the end of this episode. But first, as promised, we will learn some more about Anna and the Community Foundation. So Anna, what do you do as Executive Director for the Community Foundation? And what is the Community Foundation?
Glad you asked. So the Community Foundation was created in 1973 by leaders who realized we need an engine for philanthropy in our region, one that would mobilize people, businesses, and anyone who cares about our region to help make it stronger. In those 50 years, we have really specialized in 3 core areas. So number 1 is giving funds. Anyone who wants to be philanthropic can create their own named fund. The most popular kind is called a donor advised fund, which lets them give to their favorite causes. And because we're a 501c3, they can maximize their tax benefits, working with their wealth advisors to figure out what's the best way to add assets to it. And then they've got a ready-made team to help them give the money away to their favorite causes. That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, we also work with people when they're thinking about their philanthropic legacies.
Mm-hmm.
So in some cases, we've had folks gift over their life savings to us, and they wanted to address a particular cause. Maybe that's children, maybe that's health. And they're going to need someone who's going to be here in perpetuity to make sure those assets are making an impact in the local community. And we're their partner for that.
Okay.
And then the third is we bring people together who want to team up and make a difference on a cause that they care about deeply right here in their home community.
That's wonderful. And as Executive Director, what is your role in bringing all those 3 elements together?
I have the fun task of meeting people when they're working with their wealth advisors. They're trying to figure out what's the right vehicle for their giving. Sometimes they're thinking through lots of different ideas. How can I engage my kids or my grandkids? Some people are thinking on the corporate side. I want to get my employees involved. Sometimes when folks come to us, they're a little stuck about, I want to give, but I don't know where to start. And so I'm working with them both on the technical side of setting it up, but then on the fun side of figuring out their philanthropic passions and how they can direct that to the community.
All right.
So that's part of it. And then I'm also lead for the Montgomery County initiatives that are focused on how we can drive change here and help our entire community thrive.
Wow. So let's do a little role playing here. and you'll help me to, or everyone, kind of understand the different scenarios. I'm John Q. Montgomery, which is not necessarily the founder of Montgomery County, Maryland, okay? But I want to give money.
Mhm.
And so I found your website. I contact you guys. What are the next steps? Walk me through how we end up giving. And say, for instance, I'm really concerned about food insecurity, which of course I actually am. What do we do from there?
It's a great example. There was a family who came to us recently, exact same thing. Their advisor suggested they set up a donor advised fund because that's the most flexible. So they got it going. And then we had a family meeting to sit down and have some conversations about their values and their vision and how they wanted to plug into a cause. For a lot of donors, really understanding the network of nonprofits that are out there. What are the best strategies? What are some innovative ideas that are coming about that need some support? That can really help them figure out where they want to plug in, so that way their giving makes the deepest impact possible. So, for example, I have a lot of donors who care about food insecurity. And that is an issue that is on the rise in our community, unfortunately. So for some, they want to go, who are the biggest organizations? Who have the greatest reach? And so we might take them out to the Manna Food Center, so that way they can see the warehouse in Gaithersburg. Maybe
You actually take them out there to show
take them out. I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're a community foundation. We are in the community.
I thought it was just like a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh no. Well, I do a really great PowerPoint, but I love to get people out into community to see the partners, to see the work happening. So that's one example of a big organization that has a huge reach across the community. Many years ago, I had some donors who were curious about a grassroots effort. A bunch of volunteers had this idea of like, well, what if people could use their SNAP benefits and WIC at a farmer's market, so that way they could get access to fresh fruits and vegetables? And what if we raised a private match to double the benefit of it?
Oh, wow.
So it helps our farmers and it helps our neighbors who might be struggling with food insecurity.
Oh, fantastic.
They formed the Crossroads Community Food Network, the first farmers market to do this. And now hundreds of markets copy what started right here in Montgomery County. Those are two examples of a large organization that's continuing to innovate and do great things, and a very hyperlocal grassroots one. And there are hundreds in between doing lots of amazing things all over our community.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that shows kind of what happens with donors, and that donors don't have to be an individual. It could be a group. It could be a business. There's different types of donors. So is there a limit or any requirements or constraints on donors?
So if you wanted to create your own named fund, $10,000 is the minimum to start a donor advised fund. It's a little higher for certain other things if you make it more complicated. For some folks, they say, I want to be philanthropic. I want to give locally. I don't need a named fund. How can I do that? Well, we have local funds that are shared. The main one is called Sharing Montgomery. And it brings together people who share our passion for this community.
Montgomery. That's wonderful.
And to share ideas, share resources. And what we do is we collect applications. We hear from organizations all over. We bring a team of our board members and volunteer grants committee evaluators out with us. Just this week, we were out talking with leaders to see the impact of last year's grants to help inform what are we going to do this coming year? And how do we make the deepest impact in our community right now?
Oh, great.
So for some people, giving through a fund like Sharing Montgomery, I had one client call it her mutual fund for charity. She's like, I make one gift and it covers its diversified portfolio and it's covered everything.
I wanted to say that it sounds very much like investing when you're investing in different types of funds or financial vehicles to maximize your holdings and to grow.
I think that's a really smart way of thinking about both sides of the fund, both literally how it's invested and then how your grants are an investment in the community that you love.
Right.
And what's the ROI? What's the return on investment?
What's the ROI?
It's coming back to our community, how our lives change, how our new pathways open for folks because of your gift. By getting people to think about that and give them new ideas how they can do that, that's where the magic of the community foundation really comes into play.
Let's talk numbers. I mentioned in the beginning that there's 1.7 million
billion.
I'm sorry, it's 1.7 billion
Since 1973.
Okay. And I love that year because, of course, a lot of great things happened that year, 52 years ago. How do I know that number? Because, I'm old. So, all right. But 1.7 billion. So what does 2025 look like in terms of investment, in terms of funds invested this year from the organization?
Yeah. So we have, for the donors who give through us,
Mm-hmm.
just last year alone, they gave over $10 million to Montgomery County nonprofits.
That's
And we're really
huge.
proud of that. And they did even more around, around the region, around the world. Our donors aren't limited to giving locally.
Mm-hmm.
And we're proud that, whenever there's a need, they are ready to step up.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So we talked a bit about the donors and the level of giving, but there's a lot of nonprofit organizations in the county that do great work, and of course across the DMV. But we're a little biased towards Montgomery County,
bit.
Maryland, as we should be. How do people apply for the grants or the money that's being given in order to be considered as part of one of these funds that are doing the great work in the county?
Great. Thank you for asking. I should first clarify, we make grants to 501c3 charities. So
Okay.
for those who are looking for direct support, if you're in need, we're happy to connect you with the partners who are doing that on the ground.
Okay.
But we don't give direct cash to individuals. I just wanted to clarify
Okay.
that.
I'm glad you clarified that part because I was, okay.
So we have an open call process every single year, so that way organizations can tell us what they're working on, their outcomes, how they're making a difference in the community. And we usually hear from over 100 organizations doing all kinds of things. And we go through and read every single one of those.
Okay.
And if I know a donor or maybe even a foundation partner or one of our corporate partners that has a passion around that, then we can take what we're learning and try to make some connections there.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. So you said about 100 organizations. Is there like a vetting process, I guess? And
There is,
how many organizations ultimately, you don't have to give exact numbers, but percentage-wise, how many organizations make it through the vetting process and receive funds?
So I should clarify, there are thousands of nonprofits across Montgomery County. We
Right.
we don't have the capacity to serve all of them.
Of
And there
course.
are many great ones. And just because one's not on our list doesn't mean they're not great. But to explain the process, so we have a framework that guides our giving. As we think about where we want our community to go, we thought we know we have to invest in 3 core pillars. Basic needs, because we have to address those, but also economic mobility. It's not good enough just to help someone stay alive. How do you give them the tools that they need to change their life?
Wow.
So when you think economic mobility, you're often thinking skill building, credentials. How do we get somebody on the pathway to a good job?
Right.
But even that's not quite good enough. We thought, no, we got to move the goalpost even farther.
All right.
And we started investing in individual and community wealth building.
All right.
Because we want people to have the assets that they need to survive a crisis like COVID or a job loss or an illness in the family.
Right.
So basic needs, economic mobility, and wealth building. That's the framework we apply when someone's applying, and we try to understand how are they aligned with our priorities.
Okay.
What are they doing? How well are they doing it? What's the potential to grow this? Is anybody else doing it? Could they be partnering? Maybe we should make some connections. And then at some point we have to look at the resources and say, okay, how do we prioritize this?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's refreshing that you have an approach that goes beyond the baseline of needs and move towards what you're talking about is maybe equity, where you're empowering individuals to live a better life through the community organizations that you're investing in, which kind of innovative. I'm gonna use that word quite a bit, but it's unique and refreshing to me. I'm not sure if a lot of other people have found organizations like yours that exist, but it's definitely something new and fresh. Now, speaking of organizations like yours, if someone was looking for more information about your organization or to contact you, how do they do that?
thecommunityfoundation.org.
Oh, wow, that's very complicated.
Very easy.
So
yeah.
the
Community Foundation.
Foundation.org, and that's it.
That's
All right.
it.
And they'll be able to...
They'll be able to look up our staff. We've got information if you want to start a fund, if you want to learn about one of these initiatives to pool resources. It's all right there on the homepage.
All right. And I know you don't have any favorites. And you did mention MANA, of course, as a large organization. And you mentioned a family that wanted to pool their money and put something together. Can you share some other examples of maybe a business, or maybe there's a charity, or maybe there's a charity that wanted to give to you to give to others? What are some more examples of donor success stories that you have?
Yeah. One that's dear to my heart. I'm not
Mhm.
going to name their name, but I was working with a family recently who their mother passed away very
Oh
suddenly,
no.
and so this next generation who
Mhm.
they're in their 20s. They weren't expecting to be in a place to steward her philanthropic resources.
Yeah.
They always thought she would be around to teach them how to do this.
Mhm.
And so they were feeling a little bit stuck, a little overwhelmed by it. And it was really an honor to sit down with them and to talk about her, to talk about her amazing life, what she cared about, how she gave to the community, where they shared values with her, and then where are some new ideas that she would have loved to help them cultivate. And so that got us thinking, and they were able to develop a plan for giving that both honors her and enables them to pick up the baton and take it to the next level. And now that they've got kids, they're thinking about that next generation. And the kids, range from tiny
Oh wow.
newborn to one that's about to turn 18, and how they're engaging them and teaching them the values of giving to your community. It's been a beautiful experience.
That's wonderful. So
So
your family can create a legacy
mhm.
through taking something that was a loss
Yeah,
and making it a benefit to
it
the.
can be a very
Yeah.
healing experience. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I was checking out your website, and I clicked on ways to impact your community, and
Mhm.
you have there 4 different levels: open a fund, become a community champion, which sounds exciting, corporate giving, and create a legacy. I think we talked about creating a legacy.
Mhm.
What is this community champion thing?
Community champions actually support the community foundation itself. We're a
Okay.
501(c)(3), and like
Okay.
others, we have to raise money to be able to do the leadership work that we do in the community. I was telling you earlier, our job for community foundation, we are
Hmm.
out in the community.
Right.
The time we spend learning about partners, forging those connections, and things like that, our community champions make that
Yeah.
possible.
Fantastic. And then, of course, people are giving from their hearts. But
Yeah.
in some cases, you do want to make sure you have that tax information. What is the reporting like? Is it easy to get information on the giving that you've done and to gain the documents necessary to file your taxes?
You have a human at the ready who will get you what you need
Okay.
whenever you need it.
All right.
Some folks connect us directly with their wealth advisors, and they just say, call Anna, call this team. They're going to take care of it,
Oh,
get all my
wow.
paperwork in. I want this easy. And
Mhm.
that's part of the benefit. We want the giving to be easy, headache-free, and rewarding.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. And then one last thing. If you're a community organization and you want to be one of the 100 that's vetted or the thousands that are considered, what is the very first step? How do I find out
Get on
about
our
when
mailing
and
list.
where and how and all that stuff?
Yep. So you go to our website,
Okay.
thecommunityfoundation.org. We've got a link right up at the top for nonprofits. We announce open applications on a quarterly basis. So
Mhm.
the best way is to join our mailing list so that way you'll get those notifications. There are new opportunities popping up all the time. Even I can't predict how many new opportunities might come on for the year. So that's the best way to stay in the know.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, are there events that do you guys host any events or anything, open houses or things of that nature that people maybe want to be aware of?
So we often take our donors out into the community to learn
Mhm.
about nonprofits. I just held a virtual one. Now that it's getting colder, about half of them are virtual.
That's a
Um,
very warm
but
approach
just
to it.
last
Mhm.
week, some amazing partners I should note, during the pandemic, we had a partnership with the county called Food for Montgomery, in which we were bringing together the Montgomery County Food Council, DHHS, other partners, farmers, nonprofits, businesses, to figure out how to respond to the growing need. Some of our partners had this idea, realizing how much food is wasted in the system. They wanted to create a shared cold storage
Oh, wow.
resource. And after several years looking for the right place and then getting extra resources and growing up, they were just able to release it. This has been led by Kingdom Global CDC and Rainbow CDC, working in the East County area. And we were able to bring out our donor community to, as our elected officials were cutting the ribbon on this amazing resource that's going to serve, it's going to save thousands of pounds of food from going into the trash. It's going to redirect that and get that nourishing food to families in need. It's going to make a huge difference. So we brought out our donors to see how it works, to hear from the partners. Then we got to talk with Manna Food Center, with the Food Council and the Office of Food System Resiliency to understand the macro level perspective on what are the evolving needs in our community and what's the best use of our resources going forward.
Very thoughtful process, and that's what's happening, MoCo.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. Do you have anything else you'd like to add on behalf of the Community Foundation?
I would say the needs are rising in our community. A lot of folks think, oh, Montgomery County is such a wealthy place. They don't have any problems. We have over 300,000 neighbors who are struggling to make ends meet right now. Some have been affected by, federal layoffs or their government contractors or other challenges. And with, rising cost of rent, utilities, food, it's hitting families really, really hard. So everybody is in a position where they have something to give, be that time, talent, or treasure. I would say now more than ever, your community needs you. Now's the time to step up.
Now is the time. Now is the time. So thank you so much, Anna, for being here today. And a huge round of applause. We can insert it in here later to make sure that we show appreciation to her and the foundation for all the good work they've done, not just now and this year, but over the years, 52 years of support for our communities and making life better for not only Montgomery County, Maryland, but the entire DMV and the world. Thank you so much again for being here. And now we're going to move on and talk very quickly about what's happening MoCo's top 4 festive holiday happenings in Montgomery County, Maryland. And the very first one we want to talk about, number 4, I'm going to count down from 4, is that one of the greatest stories ever told for the holidays, A Christmas Carol, being hosted at the Olney Theater Center in Olney, Maryland. Be sure to check it out. Visit tickets.onlytheater.org and look up the Christmas Carol. That's number 4. Fun for your family and friends that love theater. If you want to get outside and you're not too worried about getting cold, go join our friends at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds for Luminosity Holiday Lights Festival. All the lights, all the fun, all the festivities you can find out there in the maybe not so cold, but out there, bright, beautiful lights and fun for the entire family. Great walking environment there in Montgomery County, Maryland. Shout out to MoCo Fair, our very good friends. And if you want to join another part of the county for winter lights, you can go out to Seneca Creek State Park in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Tickets are available via Eventbrite, so search for Winter Lights Festival, Seneca Creek State Park. That's number 2. And now for number 1, coming to you from the Montgomery County Parks Department, Garden of Lights at Brookside Gardens. Beautiful Brookside Gardens in Wheaton, Maryland. Check it out, you and your families. And that's what's happening in MoCo. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share so you can learn more about giving in Montgomery County, Maryland. But of course, as always, some of the great and wonderful resources and happenings here in the county.
Thanks for listening to What's Happening MoCo. Please subscribe via your favorite podcasting platform and follow us on Facebook. This podcast is brought to you by County Cable Montgomery, your source for news and information from the Montgomery County government. Connect with us via cable, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube by searching for County Cable MoCo.